People used to say, this is fun. And I used to say, it's not fun. We're here to do serious work. Fun is the F word. I can enjoy working. Somehow that's a slightly different thing. The enjoyment is in the result. That's where the pleasure is. I'm not trying to make work ordinarily which is self-expressive or autobiographical, even though some of them actually are. But generally, I don't want them to be about me. I want them to be about the subject more generally. The subject being, in many ways, photography itself. If I take a photograph of you, a portrait, depending how I choose to light you, you can have a very, very different appearance, depending on where I choose to stand in relation to you. I mean, for example, if I photograph the back of your head, it's very different from photographing your face, even though we would say equally they are indeed photographs of you. A photograph of something clearly is not that something. And depending on a variety of decisions you might make, that representation is bound to be different. I photographed a piece of white wall on 7 different kinds of film. And depending on the film stock, the white becomes a yellow white, a pink white, a green white, and so on. So it's kind of counter to the idea of white as an absolute concept. Everything comes down to time and light, essentially. So those two things, time, light, for me, they become subjects in their own right at different points over the various works I've made. Everything is very prepared, everything is very organized. I have not only a picture in my head, I have a picture on a piece of paper. My drawings allow me to have some form of visualization. And actually, they're not necessarily a million miles away from the result. And my rough sketch is not massively different from that. With photography, all kinds of things can pop up that, however careful you've been, you didn't actually anticipate. And instead of rejecting them because it's not what you expected, it's not what you wanted, what you might do is embrace them to such an extent they actually become something crucial. So having found this in the garden, I'm thinking of now scanning it. Ordinarily, what I'd have done is come up with an idea and a visualization for something which makes use of a dead animal. Look at the level of detail on this. You can see all the dirt on his little feet. You can see every individual bit of fur. That emergence of the previously unseen or unexpected is a big part of the work I'm doing presently. I do see what I do always as a kind of experiment. What happens if? What happens if you do this? Or what happens if we do this? What that means is, although there's a root of my work which is quite consistent, which is to do with an interest in the limits to photography's means of representing things. You are like an addict, and if you stop, you have withdrawal symptoms, or I do. And I'm always saying to people, I would like to retire. And people think this is a very strange concept. If you're an artist, you can't retire. You just go on and on and on. I have a certain curiosity. Why not try this? I haven't done this before. I don't even know if it'll work, but I think it should work. There's only one way to find out. You have to do it. And once you've done it, you then have associated ideas. I could do it like this, but actually, there's a slightly different way I could go about doing this, and then, yeah. And so it goes on.